Ladies and Germans, how you all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Angru, low, low, low.
And guys, we promised you this on Tuesday. We are here with some SD2 Season 3 League coverage. Today on Tsel, Rang, who do we have?
On left-hand side in blue, we have Nilla playing as 20th Panzer with Vanguard income. Right-hand side, we have DuroSVK playing as 6th Airborne with Vanguard income.
So 6th Airborne, I think it's the first time we've seen them over here on the Eastern Front. What differentiates them from their former incarnation on the West?
Not much really. They got some new infantry toys. They got some Belgians and some Canadians thrown in as well. But they still play pretty much the same of being a smaller, elite infantry fighting force with not much in terms of armor, but good airplanes.
One would certainly hope so with a name like 6th Airborne, but you're absolutely right. Love to see this early... Oh my gosh, yeah. Super early mortar barrage to drop some smoke here down on this town, giving guys more than enough time to get the Stosstrooping on in. This could be a devastating siege of this northern town.
Yeah, and I like how it's the Stosstrooping in half tracks for a little bit of extra armored fire support. The Panzer IIIs as well. That is a very concerted push here, all things considered for Nilla.
Now, the unfortunate thing, I think, is that we saw a rather hefty push happen on Tuesday as well. I won't tell you the outcome of that. But on Tsel, is this the town fight that everybody focuses on?
Pretty much. People usually like fighting over this northern flank, because if you can capture the northern hill, you can pretty easily hold the northern hill. It's nice and secluded, and it's on a flank. And oh my god, just look at the Source Troop get in there with artillery. This is perfect, absolutely perfect.
The unfortunate part to this is that it kind of looks like it's supposed to be a magic trick, and like, you know, when the smoke clears, it's like, no more 6th Airborne!
Now pull out a rabbit!
But a super early Tempest trying to go and cut some of this momentum. They managed to do some good here, but... Yeah. A very huge reinforcement push. Look at this. What, 6, 7 squads? 8 squads? 1 air such trooping, excuse me, 1 P grunt, 9 to 1 P grunt and 8 air such trooping squads.
That's a lot of air such trooping, but yeah. The Source Troop kind of got killed a little bit because the only Source Troop 5-man squad and 6 Airborne are pretty good in CQC, but he still has the edge of the town under control with half tracks and whatnot, so he still has the momentum.
True, and the short barrel P3s give an awful lot of fire support, as long as they have some eyes in front of them. But air landing troops being deployed in the meantime. Now, as a bit of a reminder, air landing troops, I did say we had a couple of them down south, we're kind of trying to pull up, there we go. So air landing troops do get a couple of stens now. I think before they were a little bit more underpowered. With that Bren gun and the PI, they are very much all around, but I feel like their effectiveness kind of definitely falls off with a bit of range.
Yeah, they're pretty alright. You're really just buying them for the Piat more than anything, and just having a cheapest infantry squad to hold a bit of ground.
So it does seem to be the case. Sorry, I just gotta go look back again at these air shots as they all pour into the town.
This is our town now.
Exactly. It's like Airshotsville.
What a place. Welcome to Earthsatchville. Here's your Car 98. But I want the SMG! That's why they're disheartened.
Exactly. They wrote, St. Nicholas over here and didn't get what they wanted for St. Nicholas Day. You're right.
But yeah, that's a town under control. Good line and sink here from Nilla now. The question is, what is he going to do now after capturing this town? He's actually still losing by points because the middle area of the map is not looking too great for Nilla, as DuroSVK is pushing that, and rightfully so.
Oh, don't worry, he's got 3 squads of P-Grunts moving on in, including 1 Führer there, trying to cut off, let's say, this most extended version, this 2-inch carrier, AP Paras, and Sniper.
Yeah.
And as you might suspect, we are seeing some more troops being thrown into that northern, now crumbling flank of the British lines. And honestly, it has potential. But like you said,
yeah.
Airsatchtroopen are shockingly enough a decent firepower stand-in against this.
Just they're good for holding territory. And it's going to be pretty hard to knock out 8 SS troop and squad up north.
Well, especially when they have 4 tanks with them.
Map. Yeah, and really, those Panzer III ends, it's the tanks in general, up north have really been the key decisive factor, as well as smoke artillery, in taking that town. Because they just provide a really good base of fire support. And it's kind of hard to deal with armor as 6th Airborne. You don't have a lot of great tanks. In 8th phase, you only got bloody Tetrarchs and like a Centaur. So not the best armored fire support early on. It really relies more on anti-tank guns and aeroplanes.
Well, one kind of wonders why we don't see Centaurs more often. Then you realize, oh yeah, of course, they're mythological. But worth noting, you're not sure where Duro's going to go after this. I feel like Disney World is definitely a good option. Not a lot of people there right now. I think it has options.
I think you can get a cheap cruise as well.
That's true. Actually, I did have a friend of mine who was like, "Con, we need to go on a cruise," and I was like, "Let's wait until they're not floating death ships."
Yeah.
Chip, I love your thinking, just not now, dude. Air landing troops over here, kind of like you said, they get brought in just to kind of hold the line with this Piats. Unfortunately, Piats don't seem to have the accuracy they could.
I know, right?
Forget should, could.
Could. It's a maybe if they hit, really.
It's a suggestion card. We are getting a little bit of action down to the south, though. We are going to see a number of paras with their Piats and the air landing troops behind them carrying their gear, slowly moving to the west, and they're now in that kind of factory, group of low houses.
And this is really... It's just funny how this is paralleling our last replay with how the infantry division is trying to fight for more of the middle area of the map because it's better infantry fighting. It's a better infantry fighting terrain.
Well, it does look like maybe that infantry is tapped over for Nilla in Phase A. Because we're seeing triads of tanks coming in, and don't get me wrong, tanks super terrifying. Tanks
That's
super blind.
Yeah, that's a lot of tanks. You're right. I have a feeling. Yeah, Nilla must be out of those Panzergrens and Ersatz, which is not good when there's. Oh, it's only another 2 minutes or so in the phase, so it's not terrible. But I hope he doesn't charge tanks into Piats. That would be awfully terrible. That'd be awfully unwise.
We are getting these tiny cauldrons here and there, and I say tiny cauldrons because we have the occasional air landing in Piat, but to what end? There still is an awful lot of Germans coming forward.
Yeah. There's really good momentum so far from Nilla here.
Here's a question. Why is it the 6th Air doesn't have more commando troops?
I don't think they were assigned to the 6th Airborne. They were their own brigade.
I'm not sure you're being sarcastic right now or not, because
no, I'm being serious.
Oh, okay.
Like commandos. Yeah, they're like their own brigade.
Oh, but commando regiments, I get that, but you would think that 3rd Fallschirmjäger, for example, isn't specifically supposed to be commandos either. Yet there's an awful lot of guys with commando.
Oh, you mean like the raider trait?
Yes.
Oh, they do. It's just hidden. If you open up the infantry cards, they have the raider trait.
Yeah.
It takes up the
so
tank buster.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's very silly when you have these icons signifying flamethrowers and whatnot, but you can only so one at a time.
Well, it's one of those dumb things, that kind of proves that I have not been paying attention to this. Because I was looking at this, no idea, what they take double morale. There was a whole quandary for me. Let's put it that way. Ugh. What have we got otherwise? Well, actually, it looks like I was incorrect about the infantry. Got a couple squads being sent to the center, as well as, interestingly, a couple of anti-tank guns being deployed to the north. So I'm not entirely sure what he's really quite so afraid of.
Just trying to get everything out, it seems. But, yeah, it's still pretty, Nilla's meant to secure some pretty easy flags in this northern middle area here, with just some armored vehicles. I mean, they are pretty blind, though, because they're unsupported armored vehicles, but right now, Duro is not feeling the need to try and blow them up.
Actually, want to see really funny. Go to the Ox and Bucks and see they have Gewaltledungs.
Oh, yeah! And to nick a few from the Germans, I guess.
I guess so. I guess so. I'm a little concerned, actually, about their loyalties, let's say. So ask them who won the last cricket match, and if they give the wrong answer, we know they're Germans in disguise.
We're in B phase now. We got some Cromwell tanks being brought in on the northern flank. Definitely a little bit useful having some actual armored vehicles now, but he has a lot of territory he has to try and grab back in this north.
Well, at the same time, I see Pioneer SVTs being brought on in, and this ME-109 is desperate to get rid of this stinking Tempest here. I don't think he's going to get there in time, though, is the problem.
Yeah, the Tempest is pretty fast.
Yeah. And the Tripolston, oh my gosh, it's been a long time since I've seen one of those guys. In fact, he might even go down here. Pilot injured, Tempest has gotten in on his tail. Yeah, there's going to be a dead ME-109.
Yep. Down, down, down he goes.
And for some reason we bring another one in just because we are fickle creatures, it seems. But even as that happens, we're seeing some small progress being made. And it looks like it's probably going to be followed up on, kind of expanded upon by these pioneers being sprinkled all through the center of the map. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a resurgent push, maybe to try to capture this southern hill, this little round top.
Mm-hmm. As he's moving those, all those pioneers, could have a pretty good chance. Because it doesn't matter how highly vetted you are, if you have a big ass grenade, you can pretty much blow anyone up.
Yes, that's actually true, actually. That was a piece of advice my father used to give me before he got back from the war.
When I play horseshoes and hand grenades, I just bring hand grenades.
Close enough. Usually my opponent isn't around to care.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the captured pack. Oh my gosh, he's engaging and takes out a P3, so a couple of those German vehicles are going to get taken out by some traitorous AT guns.
Mm-hmm. And we got the counterpuss here, some grenadiers, Belgian grenadiers in this case. And it's starting to look a little bit better now for DuroSVK. It seems he's pushing on a little bit in his northern flank, and a little bit down south as well, getting the skirmish here and there, forcing back those panzers. But the hill, that little round top, not going great.
Does get helped significantly by those Tempests.
Mm-hmm. Actually, never mind. It's actually going pretty well. The Canadian power has got the Pioneer SVTs down for now.
Canadians are fearsome creatures when they're cornered.
Mm-hmm. And when they have, like, really peak grenades.
Yeah, that too, I suppose. I thought you were going to make some kind of comment about certain food or something in their bellies, but I suppose that makes more sense. Now, interestingly, we still have those two squads behind enemy lines here. DuroSVK's got the AP Canadian paratroopers and the AP flamethrowers. Both those guys, not even isolated any longer, so that's...
No. And holding that flag, all importantly.
That's true. That's a bit of a misstep over here, unfortunately, for Nilla.
Yeah, it's all these panzers in this northern middle pocket here, but they're all just kind of bunched up together. There's not really many areas where you can move in where it's nice and open. It's all hedgerows and sneaky forest with tanks and anti-tank guns, waiting to blow them up.
It certainly seems that, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Here's some action down to the south again. Yep, we have some air slash trooping and Pioneer SVTs, the P3, and kind of loose support. If it makes any progress at all, it's going to be extremely minimal.
Yeah, it might be just captures little farmstead, and that's really it.
But even that, like, who cares? At this point, he's still up 15-9.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Nilla is just trying to steal momentum. So if it were me, I'd get a couple spoiling attacks, trying to lose units, but at the same time, just try to take up a little bit of extra space here or there. You know?
Yeah, and this armored support, even though this isn't a great map for armor, just having some armor helps out a lot when trying to blow up a lot of infantry.
That is certainly true.
Yeah.
So I watched there's this P3L that's just been chilling down to the south, just outside this forest. Is he getting some support here? No, P-Gren's coming in to kind of solidify and maybe take out at long last that pocket. The hill, I think, is going to fall, at least the western side of it, into German hands, and maybe even the eastern side as well. Pioneers going up against those Grenadiers, not with those high explosives. We could see the Pioneers take them out pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting close. Yeah, the Grenadiers vote are pretty much an average rifle squad, all things considered. Nothing too crazy, yeah. And especially against, you know, even just SVTs, they really don't have the firepower.
Wait, are you saying they can't repel firepower of that magnitude?
They can't. They cannot.
Yeah, well, you know, I guess it is a bit of a trap.
But this is going really well for Nilla. Like, he's captured that northern hill and all he slowly pushing south, getting those important flags, and I mean, it hasn't been super smooth sailing because Duro is pushing in, doing those little piecemeal attacks, but he's managing to keep him at bay for the most part.
When it comes down to it, that's really what you want, isn't it?
Yeah.
You want to be able to hold the ground with as little force as possible, and then to make meager gains someplace else. Doesn't matter, it's going to snowball.
Yeah, and Nilla's in a very good defensive position right now. I mean, all he has to do is hold for another 10 minutes, and he's pretty much run the match. And he's still doing those little aggressions, capturing a flag here or there to try and, you know, keep the pressure up on the opponent. That's usually something that you want to do, even if you're playing defensively, is try to keep up some pressure on your opponent's flank somewhere, just so they can't have, you know, 5 minutes to
mass everything.
Build up a big force,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden you got an entire battalion's worth of units coming down on one flank.
Indeed. And, I'm trying to see what's engaged in that P3L. Ooh, wow, 6-pounder from way downtown. But as Phase B creeps towards a close, we're going to see another attempt actually by DuroSVK to come up and take this hillside again. It has potential, it really does.
Yeah, I think what's going to happen is Grenadiers are going to come up the hill, they're going to get blown up, and yeah, it will be the push.
Well, the AB leader right there, though, will at least keep them in the fight long enough for them to get shot instead of surrendering. So, you know, that's I guess a bit of a positive?
Yeah, apparently it's a better alternative, I guess.
There's been some light bombing going on up to the north that is going to retard some of the progress from west to east by this air slash trooping. Successful more or less just because this air slash trooping are just such scaredy cats of everything.
We got more Pioneer reinforcements being brought in, more of those cheap Panzer IIIs. But yeah, Duro's starting to push a little bit on this far northern side again now. Trying to capture a flag here or there, and I think he's going to capture a flag just on the tip of that northern hill. And that would definitely start to bring things into his favour just a bit.
It certainly would seem to be the case. I mean, a 15-9 is a much different animal, obviously, than a 14-10. That extra moment of bleed definitely kind of snowballs quite a bit. And I think we're going to see that happen.
Yeah, it's back to... It was a throw for just a second, but Nilla is starting to push a little bit harder once capturing that central hill. As with the Panzer IIIs, I think he's going to try and put a bit of aggression on the southern side. But yeah, there's a few 6-pounders here.
There's a few, yeah, but in theory, a 6-pounder should not be able to lay the gun on 3 different tanks and take all of them out. Now, I'm actually surprised why we haven't seen more of a push from Duro from his southwestern line here. You see where we have those 5 squads of the 6-pounder? Drive to the southwest. If nothing else, lock down these bridges and make it hell to try to get across.
Yeah, definitely be a pretty good play. Because if you hold that bridge, not really much is going to be getting onto the other side, and it's a pretty easy point to hold on to.
But action is lighting up all over this map here. We are seeing actually some attempts at Grenadiers being brought in from east to west. Crom will be engaged now actually by 2 Flak 43s, which is just kind of funny. So you're lucky to scratch the paint on him.
But the Flaks are taking a bit of fire here from that Cromwell.
Also,
And
to
he
your
can
point,
knock out those flags.
also to your point, there is the P3 are in the forest. Not just like barely in the forest either. They're deep in there. And then realize
very, very risky maneuver.
I'll say, and then realizing the insanity of it, they back off.
Yeah, that was a good call.
Guys, bring artillery, please. It's been an absolute dearth of it. And the last few weeks we've done, guys, this is killing me.
We had that one mortar at the start, and he's just been sitting there doing nothing. He's just been forgotten, left alone. But on a map like this, artillery is king. Artillery is always king.
True. True. Artillery is king, and infantry is its loyal jester.
Mm-hmm. And it's so easy in ST2, because the artillery can just be sitting at your spawn, and you still are extremely accurate, because you got those lovely radios.
Indeed.
Yeah. Got like this far northern assault going on up here with the Ersatz troop, and the thing he's trying to capture is very northern flank here. I think he's going to be able to do that, but there's a centre to try and stop any more funny business if he decides to grow a bridge too far.
Well, we are actually going to see a couple of airplane bombing runs on these SVTs in the center. I think he's desperate to get rid of these guys.
Mm-hmm. I see hitting the flank 88. Yeah, not doing too much damage, but keeping it not shooting for now.
I was going to say, it would be a little bit ironic if the plane is able to bomb an anti-air gun out of position. I mean, there's a certain level of rock, paper, scissors you kind of expect out of this, and that would just seem to stretch credulity just a little bit too much.
Yeah, it's like how in the modern day car, there's missiles which specifically target radar systems for anti-aircraft pieces.
Okay.
So you have airplanes whose entire job are to shoot down anti-aircraft like positions, like surface.
Oh yeah, exactly.
And that's their only job. Such a crazy thing. Because if you mess up, you're dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I've read my Tom Clancy. This is Red Storm Rising about 5 times. I think they're going to succeed, at least in part, at getting to this forest. Maybe not much further than that, but this forest, there's Grenadiers Volt. Yeah, oh my gosh, unfortunately, the guy's name is John Doe.
He's definitely going to be a John Doe now.
He's a forgotten hero.
Who are we talking about?
Exactly, I forget his name. It's like, it'll come to me.
Yeah, same.
I guess I didn't realize how many of these Grenadier Voltigeurs they actually do get.
Mm-hmm. They're a nice add-on to 6th Airborne because it's like a regular rifle card that you can get just for some regular infantry. But the problem is they are just regular. They're not that good compared to your awesome airborne troops. You have PH and SMGs, a lot of SMGs, and really peak grenades.
So, not to be too concerning here, I think we're shaping up for another charge across the crest of the hill in the south. We have 7 full squads of Grenadiers. I would not be surprised to see, and yep, the first orders of movement have been given.
Yeah.
The first guy's not going to make it. Not going to make it. Interesting, his name is King, or König, but his name is King. So I'm kind of interested to see this as well. And we're finally seeing some aggression actually into these longhouses too. So I'm not going to say that things are definitely turning into Nilla's favor, but I'm going to say that things are turning into Nilla's favor quite considerably.
I think he's done a pretty good job so far in just holding his gains, but like I said, just pushing a little bit to try and get a flag here and there. And Duro, he's kind of been all over the place. He's been pushing up north and south and middle, but he hasn't managed to make that concerted breakthrough to try and actually capture a huge swath of territory. And it is hard with 6th Airborne to do that because it is a slowest division. I mean, it's an infantry division. You have no crazy mechanized forces for the most part. But at the same time, it is Tsel, and it's an easier map for 6th Airborne because you got all the forest cover. Mm-hmm. I would hate to play this division on bloody Sluchk, for example. That would not be fun.
Oh yeah, by that comparison, good lord, that thing would practically be over in the first 5 minutes.
You hold the town, and you get outflanked on the rest of the map.
Yep.
The Slutsk experience.
Meanwhile, down to this almost complete south, we see this one Flak 43 that has kind of been, going forward, going back, kind of saying hello to the neighbors by blowing up their houses. And doing quite a bit to reduce that entire position there. We're finally seeing an 81mm mortar. What a novel thought. S&P grants moving up in close support.
Oh my, what a devastating artillery. Speaking of devastating artillery, we got 203 off map coming in up north to blow up 88. And, well, we'll see what happens to 88 in just a few seconds.
Kind of a weird investment to me. I get killing the 88, I really do. From a theoretical standpoint. I feel like the 88 doesn't quite do as much against the airplanes as I might have hoped. Maybe that's just my own kind of conflation against history here, but it does go down.
It's dead.
But I feel like it's one of those, it's a paper tiger, if you will. It looks...
88's are, like, good anti-aircraft pieces, but you have to have other anti-aircraft guns to make them worthwhile. You don't want to have them as your only air defense.
And
you need to have cannons to do the softening up, and then the 88 is, the final punch.
But that's kind of proving my point to a certain extent. Like, I don't want to go and try to go into combat and say, you know what, maybe I want to get and scare him a little bit. No, I want to freak him out immediately, or I want to shoot him down. I don't want to go and have this half-measure stuff. Yeah.
The 88s I find to be, in my personal use, is it's more for the multi-role or being able to blow up tanks.
Sure.
That's what I usually like using them for. But, I mean, different strokes for different blokes.
That is certainly the case. Rocket plane coming in down to the south takes out P4. Just as the German infantry over here, though, does an attack move. Looks like they're going to cross that crest. They've killed most of the defenders. And Nilla just dumps. That was weird.
Huh.
I guess he was running out of infantry.
Huh. I mean, it was a trove, so...
I would love to know the story behind that. So, Duro,
Same.
Nilla, please, one of you guys, I know you guys watch these. Please let us know what's going on there.
It seems like he was winning, maybe DC'd, we don't know, but...
we'll say.
Duro got the victory. I mean, look at the KD, he was doing pretty good in that regard.
But he's fighting against a thing where it costs more. He's got a bunch of guys that are just flesh and blood. I mean, yes, no life can have a price on it, but it kind of gets borne out in most KDs against infantry divisions. The infantry division will usually suffer as many unit casualties, but still come out ahead in total point value. I don't know. I still worse in the 6-pounder, 5 kills, though, so I can't argue with numbers like that.
The pack gun did pretty good. Alderson knocked out 3 Panzers, an anti-tank gun.
Actually, I think I understand the joke for the John Doe bit. Because I think, to a certain extent, since there were Belgians serving in a British division, either they didn't have the papers with them. I think maybe that might be something I have to check into that for the history. That might be that they didn't know what the names were, so they put down John Doe, both as to protect them, as to also... I have to look that up.
Huh.
I have to look that up. That sounds right for some reason.
Oh, because they're all called John... I just realised that now. That totally makes sense. Or maybe... That would make sense to, like, protect him, because you have Germans in Belgium, and they'd probably go after the families, of course.
Actually, you know who would probably know this. I know I'm definitely going to look this up after we close this, but I'm sure Rooster's going to hop into one of our comments and tell us about this.
Yeah. Or maybe Eugene was lazy, and they forgot to add in Belgian names.
Well, if that's the case, then dude, we're calling them out right now. That's an awful lot of unknown heroes here.
Yeah. Huh. But what a match.
Indeed, what a match. Oh yeah. But so to allow us to catch our breath before the next one, folks, we think we might kind of cut it here for the moment. As always, we appreciate you guys for everything that you do. I know you definitely appreciate us a little bit, and I definitely helps me sleep a little bit better at night. But until next time, this is Con Ulrich.
I'm Mangaroo. Take it easy.